Hello. Do you have a career or do you have a job? Do you even know or have you even thought about the difference between those two? Or another question is, are you content in your world of work? Is it something that when you wake up every morning and go to, there's a sense of contentedness and joy and fulfillment? Hello, my name's Murray Comber, and I'm a trained career consultant. Not only that, I have had real-life career transition experience on my own, and that means three things. Number one, I've trained to do what I do. Number two, I've experienced the transition that has happened in my life that could be happening in yours. And number three is because I've been doing it for 17 years, I've got a lot of stories and a lot of experience that can walk me through the process and help me walk you through the process. Let's talk about that job career question I talked about and knowing its difference. When it comes to a job, you have time, companies have money. You enter an agreement where you make an exchange that for the time you give them to do a task, in return they give you money, and that money helps you pay for life. Career is looks the same, but it's a little bit deeper than that. When it comes to a career, it's something that you enjoy, you have carefully prepared for, you have carefully selected what you're going to do, and you do tasks that you actually enjoy in a field of interest to you. And when you do it, you find it rewarding. That means it doesn't only bring you a paycheck, it brings you a life. And it's a life because what you do for a living has a sense of meaning and has a sense of purpose. And if you're going to work every day and it doesn't invest in your meaning and purpose and significance in life, and you wake up saying, I don't want to go, then you've got a job. If you choose a career and have had a career in the past and all of a sudden it's no longer enjoyable and you sort of don't want to go there anymore, then you know what? That career has become a job. If you've had a job, whether it be out of the gate or moved away from a career, and you really do not like going to it every day, but you're sticking to it because you have to support your life financially, then you're probably walking in a fair amount of stress, dissatisfaction, maybe anger, maybe frustration, some kind of an emotion that isn't positive, and it comes out of an area of life where you spend so much time, and that is your world of work. Maybe you find yourself asking this question from time to time, either internally or to other people. Is there a way out? Is there something else? How? I don't even know where to begin. Well, I'm here to tell you two things. Is there a way out? Well, number one, there isn't if you do nothing. But number two, there is if you do something. And I have something for you. I have a place that you can go that will answer that question. Is there a way out? Yes. I've got a place for you to check out where you can begin that journey. I have made a 1.25 hour webinar. No cost to you, glad to give it to you, glad to invest in your life. And in this, over that 1.25 hours, I introduce who I am at a deeper level, how I and why I do what I do to help you out. After I've introduced it, I talk about my own personal career transition story so that you can see that there's some meat behind the bones, and if I have a story, understand that you have a story as well. After I've told my story, I talk to you about the 9 valuable career lessons I learned from my career transition. And if I've transitioned out, I've made a change, I recognize that something needed to happen. Some of those lessons are probably going to relate to you. Maybe not all 9, but many of them will. And you'll say, I relate to that. I relate to that. And you begin to identify and put some meat on those bones. After I've done that, I discuss some of the more obvious and not so obvious reasons why people have career issues. If you're going to recognize, and you do recognize there's a problem, and it's a good idea to very clearly know why. Some people have a clear idea, some people don't. They're just nagging in behind them, but why, but why? What are the reasons? Some of them are obvious, some are inobvious. I spend some time talking about that. And if in those things, as we talk about, if it's resonating with you, then what I do, I show you at the end of the webinar what you can do to take further action and how we can help you on your journey towards career dissatisfaction. So your question, is there a way out, can be answered with yes, there is, and I show you a 12-step journey that you can go on. The webinar I'm talking about is what we call evergreen. Evergreen trees are green 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The parallel is that this webinar is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Because it is a pre-recorded one that I have put online, you can register for it. And when you do, you won't have to pick a date tonight, tomorrow, next week, or whenever. That sometimes can be very inconvenient. Or it could be recorded in one time zone and you're in a different time zone, and there is a mismatch between time zones, and it might be available at your time in that time zone but not yours. And so we get away from that. That's why I wanted to make this webinar available to you on demand when you want it. And so if you register for this, you're going to be able to have access to it immediately. If you want to do it right away, you can do it. If you want to do it in a few hours from now, you can do it. If you want to do it tomorrow, next week, your next time off, you can do it because you will have the email and the link to click into it. And how do you get access to this? Put your name and your email address into the box on this page. And let me just say this, I value your email address. I value mine. I don't want it abused, and I will not abuse yours. That email address will only be used to communicate with you, myself, Murray Comber, and my organization, Career Fit for You, to help you deal with issues in your world of work. So I hope you find that appealing. I hope that you will say, yes, this has given me some hope. I'd love you to check it out. So fill in your name, email address, go to your inbox, get that email from me, and the link and your instructions on how you can get access will be there. So you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the webinar.